And we are back with yet another censorship update, and this one is out of Canada. Hey folks, Mike Martins here, with the Mike Martins channel. And yes, governments around the world are doing everything possible to avoid accountability for the last 4 years. They're coming after our freedom of speech and expression, freedom of assembly, and the freedom of the press. Don't forget to check out our 2018 live stream, Mike in the Night, Hot War Ahead, Trudeau Forever, where we predicted they would pull the trigger on a pandemic. And in that live stream, we stated the incredible accountability governments had on their hands in 2018 via the crumbling banking system they manipulated. And 2019 became the year of the protest, as we predicted. And yes, they had to pull the trigger on a pandemic. Fast forward 4 years later. Same government in power and wants to put people in jail who go against the BS. This week, the Canadian government has submitted a court document under the Online Streaming Act, Bill C11, which critics say shows the law does the opposite of what was promised. Originally, C11 was promoted as a law that wouldn't regulate user content on social media. However, this new court filing reveals that it actually does regulate such content, according to experts observing Canada's online censorship laws. C11 has been controversial since it was proposed, debated, and eventually passed. The government had promised that it wouldn't regulate third-party user content, but the court document now indicates otherwise. C11 is an updated version of C10. Critics had said that while it fixed some issues from C10, it didn't address the most important ones. The Online Streaming Act expands the powers of the Broadcasting Act, giving the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, CRTC, authority over online content, including platforms like YouTube and podcast apps. Despite government assurances, the court filing, which is a response to a challenge from Google, suggests that the act does allow for regulation of user-uploaded programs on social media. The main issue is whether big tech can be taxed and regulated without affecting the third-party content they host. This latest legal development isn't encouraging for regular internet users in Canada. Google challenged a CRTC ruling about online and streaming broadcasting fees, trying to protect its business. The Canadian government wants a share of the advertising dollars from user content, even though the ads are run by Google, not the content creators. The court document states, contrary to Google's position, the act does allow for the regulation of user-uploaded programs on social media services as long as certain conditions are met. I call BS, and governments are scared of the truth surfacing. Last month, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau expressed concern that governments lack the tools needed to protect people from misinformation. This warning came as part of his push to pass the Online Harms Act, Bill C-63, a highly controversial piece of censorship legislation. Bill C-63 has alarmed civil rights and privacy advocates due to its provisions on hate speech, hate propaganda, and hate crime. These provisions would allow punishment not only before any offense is committed, but also retroactively. Yes, thought crime. In a podcast interview with the New York Times, Trudeau defended C-63 as a necessary tool to combat hate speech, claiming that other methods to address online hate speech and related crimes have been exhausted. Despite acknowledging that increased government control can lead to abuse, Trudeau argued for new legislative methods to protect people from misinformation, promoting C-63 as a balanced solution. In my opinion, this is a way for governments to hide the accountability for the last 4 years. So if you stand up to anything that looked like a lie, you may be punished for misinformation and fined and placed under house arrest. However, critics find it hard to see this balance in C-63, which is currently being debated in the House of Commons. If passed, The bill would allow authorities to place people under house arrest if they are deemed likely to commit hate crime or hate propaganda in the future, a chilling example of pre-crime. Yes, thought crimes. It's here, folks. Additionally, individuals could be banned from accessing the internet. The bill aims to create new laws and amend the Criminal Code and the Canadian Human Rights Act, including a provision for life imprisonment for those who commit a hate crime alongside another criminal act. For hate speech violations, individuals could face fines of up to $51,000. All this for simply stating, "I trusted the science, now I'm injured." Canadian content creators who are not a part of CID will be punished. Check out our videos on controlled information distribution. This means certain people will be allowed to release the truth over time. We here on this channel are 8 years pre-COVID and have warned you about it, and the price of food, energy wars, inflation, money laundering from China, weather wars, raising interest rates, gold and silver, BRICS nations videos from 2015, shrinkflation, stagflation, the proxy wars, door-to-door looting, freedom of speech without freedom of reach, fentanyl coming into the West via Chinese gangs, and money being laundered into our real estate, creating artificial shortages in 2014, and hundreds of warnings and predictions. But the real question is, what do they don't want us to know? That is the question. See you in the next video. Mike Martins here. I have spoken.